With no life-threatening injuries, the hospital released me later on that evening. The phone in my pockets rifled with texts and missed calls from Georgia. Hopefully, by the tone of them, she wouldn't be too heartbroken if Hank doesn't make it back. I sure as shit won't go back there with those creatures roaming around. No, I made my mind up to end this one way or another. As much as it kills me, I hadn't gone to check on the kids. Not only would it confuse them, but there's a chance they'd be in danger if the other me saw that I was there. What the hell would a scumbag like that want with children, though? I mean, if anything, they'd had to be getting in his way by now. The dangers they could be facing stabbed at my heart like needle-pointed blades. I just have to keep going. If I stop long enough to let everything sink in, it'll fatally absorb me. I can't let that happen. Like depicted in the old television shows and Freaky Friday specials, I figured the only way to get out of this mess is the same way I'd gotten into it. I need to hunt him down, find him, and hit him. My car doesn't take long to locate, and I feel like I'm running out of time to save myself. I sit around the corner from my own house, cringing inside that someone else is living in it. It's torturous to picture Hank's spirit rifling through my drawers, using my toilet, emptying my fridge. I sit in excruciating wait until he decides to leave the house without the kids. I'd gotten my first glance that I'd had at them all week through the window earlier. They looked slightly bored and sullen, but otherwise unharmed. I looped my car around a side street to our block, knowing it would come back around to the stop sign the other Todd would have to use to stop at. Taking a deep breath, I squeezed my eyes shut, showed my foot on the gas, and T-bone him as hard as I possibly can. My mind recognizes where it is before my eyes even open. My eyelids illuminate with bright hospital room lights, and something feels extraordinarily off. I hadn't gained back enough of my mental faculties to place exactly what it is yet. Beeps and whirs of machines drill through my subconscious, slowly forcing me awake. I think that my medical bills would be through the roof, and jokingly hoping that whatever injury had landed me there would just kill me and get it over with. I didn't carry that wit for long, as my mind struggles to recount the events for the past week. I dreadfully realize precisely what's wrong with me. I have absolutely no feeling from the waist down. The interruption of the doctor into the room is a welcome relief from my spiraling thoughts. "Welcome back, Mr. Barton," he jokes. Then occurs to me that he'd referred to me by my actual name. I looked down at my hands and was beyond elated to actually recognize him. "A couple of men who would like to talk to you. They're right outside. I'm going to let them in now for a bit. I'll be back to check on you soon and we can discuss your prognosis," he explains gently. My stomach drops to see two uniformed officers enter the room, closing the door behind them. "Good afternoon, sir. First of all, we want to say that we're sorry for all that you've been through. The descendant's available for questioning, but the damage on the vehicles shows that this is an intentional hit." The officer has a booming voice despite his short stature. The tag on his chest reads Deputy Collins. I hold up a weary hand to interrupt him. "Descendant? Doesn't that mean—" Without skipping a beat, the deputy continues. "He passed away on the scene, sir. Tell me, does the name Henry Richards mean anything to you? People around here call him Hank?" I shook my head, confused. As much as I hate to lie to a law enforcement officer, if anything came to light later on, I can easily blame a head injury or a concussion. Maybe he had a medical event at the wheel," I stammered weakly. "Unfortunately for us, we'll never know. Even with an autopsy, the damage from the wreck was severe. It's entirely possible that you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Vehicular suicide, it isn't all closed garages and radiator hoses anymore," Collins responded. "Thank you for your time, sir." They leave behind their contact card before exiting the room. I can see the silhouette of the doctor on the other side of the door waiting to come in. He explains to me that I've suffered a spinal injury, and even with intense physical therapy, the chances of me walking again are slim to none. As much as I'm sure it will alter my life completely, at this moment, I'm just happy to be myself again. After 3 long weeks in the hospital, my ex-wife ended up being the one to pick me up and take me to my home. My insurance company thankfully had covered everything I needed for my aftercare. Brad was a thing of the past, and as much as I wanted to hate her, I needed her help to raise the boys. If she was willing, so was I. The first week home, I sat on the back patio in my new wheelchair. The urge to stretch my legs was unbearable, but it wouldn't have done me any good. Someone could have hacked them off and used them for canoe oars, and I wouldn't have felt it. The dull roar of the boys playing in the backyard soothed my weary soul. I may not have come out whole, but I won the battle for my body and soul. I closed my eyes, basking in my blessings. From the back of my brain, just above the ears, came a chuckling voice. "You're not alone, Todd. I'm here too." My stomach flipped, causing me to vomit down the front of my shirt helplessly. Fear hammered through my heart like a jackhammer with recognition. It was Hank's voice. Hey there, kids. Thank you so much for listening to tonight's story, and I wanted to tell you thank you, for listening to me at all. I'm actually coming up on doing this for 10 whole years. Come January 4th, I will have been doing YouTube for 10 years. So that's a hell of a thing, man. And honestly, it means nothing without all of you. So thank you for that. Thank you for listening on YouTube or on the podcast. I also want to give a very big thank you shout out to all of you guys out there on Patreon. If you guys want to check out patreon.com/MrCreepyPasta, you're able to support the show, support me, support my cats, support, being cool folks out there like people like these. Jordan Alexander Sanchez, Mr. Thud, Ken Lando Higuchi, Chompski, Bobby Karman, Nico Kaeo, Tristain Pelton, Chance Burnett, Diana Kraus, Raven Hart, 1-800-Nightmare, King Hades F13, Unknown Nobody, Joshua Mcmeekin, Michael Scharbrough, Kazan, ThisIsMyRealNameNoShit, Jason VB Wilson, InfernalOne, Lilwulfgaming, JimboTheHutt, Caspian, Jordan Nells, Hades Nephew, Jordan Wayne Deckard, Bradley Leipe, and Charron, AcidSystem, Mike Bullock, Prozac and Pancake Appreciation Society, Brian Arce, Cryptic Nightmares, Brianna Wright, Someone You Love, S-Man, Kiri the Sloth, Thomas Burgett, Liam Newman, Sky Harbor, Caleb Dougal, Nina Smith, Rafael Rodriguez, The Ginger Bros, Aaron Stormcrow, Daniel Polson, and Corey Kenshin. Thank you guys so much for your support on Patreon. I really can't thank you enough. And everybody who's down there in the description, thank you guys so much as well. And everybody who's not on either of those tiers, who just have $1 on Patreon, I can't thank you guys for making these past 10 years incredible. This entire time I've ever spent on YouTube, on podcasting, everything amazing. And all of you who are at home listening, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you all have a wonderful, happy holidays and sweet dreams.